Hi, I'm back again, and I want to thank all of you for the astounding amount of comments and questions that have come in on my website, LetsMakeAContract.com. So today I want to respond to Barbara from Florida, who wrote me and said, my teenage daughter is on her cell phone morning, noon, and night, and I can't get her to put it down. What do I do? I wrote Barbara back and asked what her guidelines were around that. She said she didn't have any. So for us parents, it is critical to have guidelines around cell phone use because, as we know, teens become obsessed with it and it becomes their main way of communicating with each other and with you, their parent. So here's a picture of my cell phone contract that's in my book. As you can see, my contracts have 3 columns. The first column is about what the agreements are. So if you make up an agreement, your teen doesn't really have to comply with it, but that's the guideline. The agreement is the guideline. So let's make up one. The guideline is you can use your cell phone for 30 minutes after school. And if you get all your homework done and you show it to me, then you can have it for another 30 minutes in the evening. There's the guideline. So then my responsibilities as a parent, my responsibility is to make sure that that guideline is followed. And the teen's responsibility is to comply with the guideline because that's the family value that we want to be able to communicate each other in person as opposed to texting. And then lastly, there's the consequence. What is the consequence if your child decides not to comply? Now, for kids, it's really important that the consequence fit the issue. So grounding your kid for life doesn't work with somebody who's a teenager or in junior high or a little child. So for example, if you don't comply with a 30-minute agreement, then you will lose your cell phone for the next day. It has to be short and concise. Your responsibility is to enforce it. So for Barbara from Florida, look at my contract in my book, Let's Make a Contract, Getting Your Teen Through High School and Beyond, and use that as a template. But Barbara, first of all, you have to decide what the consequences are and what your guidelines are going to be. And you have to tell your daughter what the consequences are ahead of time. You have to preempt any argument. So if you want her to be on the phone for 30 minutes after she comes home from school and she decides to violate it, she will know ahead of time that she won't have her cell phone the next day. There it is. Use the contract, use the language. The language is in the book also.